Welcome to our short workshop on anxiety in children. Different personalities can be more or less prone to anxiety, but the times that we live in can be a catalyst which increases and intensifies anxiety. Today we are going to listen to Henny Forster, educational psychologist, who will give us 10 useful tips in dealing with anxiety in our own inner being, thus being able to identify and help regulate anxiety in our children's lives. By incorporating these 10 tips, you will be helping your family gain valuable skills in dealing with everyday life uncertainties and stress factors. As we begin, you are welcome to make a couple of notes for the reflection afterwards.
Good day, Henny Forster, educational psychologist at Mosaiek. Today we're going to be talking about what can I do as a parent for myself and for my child in terms of coping with anxiety. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips on what to do with anxiety. So the first thing that's important for me to understand is what exactly is anxiety? Anxiety isn't just an emotion. Anxieties are also chemicals, hormones that my brain secretes when my brain thinks my life is being threatened. And when these hormones are secreted, it starts increasing my heart rate, my blood pressure rises, I feel all funny all over my body. So I need to be able to do things that helps me to calm these hormones and these emotions down. So tip number 1, create routines. Our brains thrive when my brain knows what's going to happen. It likes predictability. My anxiety levels tend to increase when I'm not sure what's going to happen. So the easiest way to overcome that is to create routines that work for you and work for your children. Things like eating at the same time, doing exercise at the same time, approximately waking up at the same time every morning. The important thing is keep it simple, keep it basic. These routines, write them down, because when I've written them down, I'm going to commit myself to being able to do it. Tip number 2, take breaks from social media and news. We are being bombarded with so much negativity, so much negative news. How many coronavirus cases we have, how much money has been stolen, how much this, how much that. The more I expose myself to negative news, the more negative I become. And if I'm on my phone the whole time, if I'm reading News 24, whether I'm on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, it's constantly negative news. So take time to focus on the positive. Put your phone down. Connect with your family. Ask them, what are things that they are thankful for? As a family, come up with 5 things every day that you are thankful for. Research has shown when I write down 5 things every day that I'm thankful for, it can change my mood completely. It's also important that I actually schedule time in my diary when I'm not near my phone, when I'm not being exposed to the habit of picking it up and seeing what's happening on my email or WhatsApp or social media. Put my phone down. When you're having supper together as a family, when you are spending time together, put your phone down. Actually look people in the eye, connect to them, and commit to keeping to this rule. Tip number 3, pick a new hobby. Get something that you haven't done before, or maybe haven't done for a while. Something like building a puzzle together as a family, or doing crossword puzzles. The important thing is when I'm involved in a hobby, it takes me a bit away from reality and I focus on that one thing that I enjoy. That is what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is when I'm able to just focus on one thing. When I read a book that intrigues me, when I'm watching a movie that I enjoy, when I'm creating these new hobbies, being involved in these new hobbies, it makes things better for me. It puts me in a better space. Tip number 4, stay active. Our bodies need to get rid of all these horrible hormones that's flowing throughout my bodies. And the easiest way to do this is to stay active, to exercise. Now, I know not all of us are gym bunnies. We don't all like going to the gym and lying in other people's sweat and doing everything together. But it can be something like walking or something like going for a run, a jog, cycling. The important thing is keep it fun, because when I'm keeping it fun and I'm enjoying it, I'm going to do it more often. So get something that you as a family can do together, walking the dogs or cycling around your neighborhood, but doing something that you as a family can do to stay active. Tip number 5, focus on what you can control. I was shocked when a few years ago I realized the only things that I have control over are my own thoughts, my own emotions, my own behavior. Everything else is outside of my control. And so often we get swept up with things that are outside of our control. The bad news, we're worried about the weather, we're worried about the economy, we are worried about what's going to happen in the future. When I focus on what I have control over, my anxiety levels become less. I must also realize that other people's stuff is their stuff. When I'm worried about what's going to happen to my family, going to happen to my friends, I must realize I don't have control over that. That is other people's stuff. I can be there to support them and help them, but I mustn't take responsibility for it. There's a very nice saying that says, I don't have to attend every fight that I'm invited to. Very often people, because of their own anxiety, act or behave in a certain way that I feel it's my responsibility to correct them. But I don't have to attend every fight that I'm invited to. That's going to raise my anxiety levels. I must also not allow other people to take up space in my head if they don't pay rent, if I'm worrying about other things, about other people constantly. Tip number 6, find your peace. The important thing here is to get in touch with who you are. Get in touch with what's important to you. Get in touch with your values. When I do these things, it's going to help me find my peace. I must do the things that fill my cup, because in order for me as a parent to be able to help my child when they are anxious, I need to do things that fill my cup, because when my cup is full, I can give more of myself. Yeah, we can do things like pray or meditate or read the Bible or spending time together as a family. You know what you enjoy doing. Do those things that fill your cup so that you can find your peace, so that you can be there to help your family, your friends, your children. Tip number 7, always be transparent. This is not an excuse for me as a parent to be brutally honest with my child about everything. I've got to remember when I am transparent, when I'm honest with my children, I've got to be appropriate on their level. They don't need to know everything. They just need to know enough. When I tell them about things, I've got to realize how I'm telling it to them. When we go to the shops and our children says, Daddy, I want a chocolate. And the easiest answer is, I don't have money for that. Meaning, I don't have money for it now because I don't want to buy it. But in their small world, they're thinking, we don't have money for food this evening. So I've got to be careful how I say these things to my children when I am transparent, when I am honest with them. Tip number 8, practice self-care. Things like healthy food. You know what food is good for you. We all know how many meals a day we should be having, at least 3, maybe even 5 meals a day. I need to have a healthy lifestyle, be active, eat healthily, sleep enough. We all in this time are not sleeping enough. We're on Zoom meetings, on team meetings, we're working online, we're working until 11, 12 o'clock at night and then getting up at 4 o'clock again to do all the other admin. So we're not sleeping enough, and then our anxiety levels are going to rise. So I need to sleep enough. I need to encourage my children to get enough sleep as well. I need to live a balanced lifestyle. I mustn't just work the whole time. I need to have fun as well, because when I bring fun into my life, I'm going to feel more balanced and feel less anxious. Tip number 9, stay connected with your family and friends. I think in this time, one thing that I learned in lockdown that I really want to take forward in my life is to really connect with people around me. I realized in lockdown that things we used to take for granted, seeing friends, seeing family, wasn't always possible. But now I need to go out of my way to connect with other people. They say to have friends, I must be a friend. So I've got to ask myself, what can I do to be a better friend? What can I do to connect better with other people? I need to reach out to other people, to support them in the process, to help them. If I know someone needs support, if I know someone needs something, I need to do it for them. Very often I need to do something nice for other people. There's a saying that says, be the person that your dog thinks you are. No matter how rough day I've had or how grumpy I am, my dog is always excited to see me. So I must try and actually be the person that my dog thinks I am, because then people will want to be around me. Tip number 10, find a support system. No man is an island. We are all part of a society. I need to find like-minded people that have got the same values as what I have, people that do things in the same way. When I have a support system, I can reach out to people and say, I'm not doing well. I think in this time, I must realize it's okay to not feel okay. And when I'm feeling not okay, I've got to actually reach out to other people and say, please support me. I need help. I need advice. My children are doing this. This is what's happening in my life. How do you think I can handle these things? When I have a support system, it's going to make my anxiety levels much less. We've spoken about 10 tips that I as a parent can do to help me cope with my own anxiety, but also with my children's anxiety. But the important thing here is practice, practice, practice. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. So if I do these tips for 21 days consecutively, after 21 days it becomes a habit and I don't have to think about it anymore. And you will be surprised at how it affects your anxiety levels and lessens your anxiety levels.
The invitation is to consider these 10 tips and perhaps choose one or two that you feel will make a significant impact in your immediate situation. Perhaps discuss with your parenting partner which one he or she would like to put into practice. Once you've got a nice rhythm going, take on the next one until each one of these tips have become part of your life, helping you to maintain balance and healthy habits. As a next step, you are welcome to explore some of our other learning experiences for households or contact me for specific growth opportunities. We look forward to continuing to journey with you and your household. Until next time.